Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Welcome to Canadian Islander fan. And the New York Islanders have a new head coach, and I don't think anybody is too surprised about who it is. And who might that be? Well, welcome, Lane Lambert. And we kind of knew that Lane was going to be the guy. So we got a little indicator yesterday as we saw Lane out in the press box in Bridgeport's playoff game. So I guess Lou decided since that picture came out that it was probably time to announce the hire. I think he was going to announce the hire anyway. So yeah, so I don't think that picture forced him to go out and all of a sudden just have to announce that Lane was now the coach of the New York Islanders. Anyway, all I can tell you is I personally am happy that it is Lane. People who know me know that every year it was a ritual after our season was over that I would just hope and pray that nobody scooped Lane Lambert from us. And I worried about it every summer and including this summer. I didn't want him to become a head coach for anybody else. I wasn't really thinking that he was going to be the New York Islander coach. I thought Trotz was probably going to be around a long, long time, but things have obviously happened that we know nothing about. And I think there's more to this story than we know about Barry Trotz. So maybe we'll dive a bit into it, but I don't. Bottom line is it doesn't really matter because Lane Lambert is the coach of the New York Islanders and Barry Trotz is gone. But just to dive into it a little bit, I don't think in reality that Barry got fired. I think it was a mutual thing, and I think it may have been. I have a feeling it may have come from Trotz and maybe not Lamoriello. So, or it could be Lamoriello. I don't know, but there just seems something a little bit off about Barry after his mother died and he had come back. And I don't know. I think he still has his father alive, and I can only think that maybe he wants to I mean, the Jets job is just sitting right there. So if he wants to be home close to his dad and family for a little while, he's been away a long, long time. I mean, he was 15 years in Nashville, 4 years in Washington, 4 years on the island. So he's put in a lot of time, and he can continue to do his craft in Winnipeg, but and still be closer to home. It's kind of ironic that Winnipeg is the one place that they worry about players going to in the NHL. But on the island, we got guys dying to get home to Winnipeg. We had Hamonic want to go to Winnipeg, and I got a feeling Barry did too. Anyway, let's talk about Lane Lambert. He's the man. So, like I said, I'm pretty happy that Lane was our guy. I wasn't looking forward to any retread. I didn't want to see a Bruce Boudreau if the Canucks didn't sign him, or a Tortorella, or even Quenneville. Even though I think Quenneville is a great coach, but after what he did, hey, it's the new society nowadays. So I don't really think you can put him back into the position of coaching, at least not this early. And it's not a Lou way to have that kind of controversy surrounding one of his franchises anyway. So yeah, so I really wasn't looking forward to seeing any retread. And as you can tell from what I told you earlier, that every summer I panicked that Lane was going to be leaving us, that somebody would scoop him up. And every year I was surprised. I couldn't believe it. I thought, man, this guy's a great hockey guy and he knows his stuff. He started head coach in Prince George with the Cougars, and he coached there for a couple of years, and then he went to I'm not sure if it was to Bridgeport for the Sound Tigers for the 1 year before the Milwaukee Admirals when he was a head coach. I think it might have been, or it was the year after. And then he basically hooked up with Trotz in Nashville for the last 3 years, and 4 years in Washington, and the last 4 years here on the island. Why do I like Lambert better than Trotz right now? Well, like I said this in the Trotz firing video, that Lane didn't use Bailey near as much. So what I am hoping for here, excuse me. What I'm hoping for here is a coach who obviously learned from Barry Trotz and brings the best of what he wants from Barry Trotz. But I really need Lane to be his own man here, and I got a feeling. I got a feeling he is. Like I said, Bailey's minutes dropped when Lane was coaching. However, I worry just a little bit of too much of the holdover being there about guys like Bailey and stuff like that with the old guard and whatnot. I'm really hoping that that Lane has a different way and has a different look on how things are going in the NHL right now. And let's be honest, it's a young man's game right now. And if you're going to take 5 years to develop a kid nowadays, you've wasted 5 years of his career, because they're coming right out of the gate now. It's kind of crazy. I watched the Canada-Slovakia game today, and you got two 18-year-olds playing prime minutes, and they're playing against NHL players from Canada, and they look great. They did. The only thing was they were getting pushed around from the mature bodies, and we got some pretty big boys on Team Canada this year at the World Hockey Championships. I'll talk about Barzal in a little bit here as well. But there's two guys. One's a top 5 guy, and I was keeping an eye on Nemec because he's projected around 10th or so, and he's a right-handed defenseman. If he's sitting there at 13, he was a possibility. And from what I saw from Nemec today was pretty darn good playing against NHL guys. But then again, you take a look at Team Canada's roster, and they are young. Take a look at the United States roster, and it gets even younger. I mean, that's just the way it is nowadays. And if Barry and Lou are not ready to conform, I put Lou in there because Lou's the next guy on the chopping block in my eyes. So if they don't adjust to the new ways, I mean, you got to start throwing them in there like now and getting your best use out of these guys. So I'm hoping that's what we're going to see out of Lane. I hope he doesn't bring too much of the old school stuff. We still got to be able to play defense in the playoffs and whatnot, but we need a way to get there. And that's with some pure talent and in the regular season to get you to. I mean, we have the opposite problem of the Leafs right now. The Leafs have got the regular season team and they blow it in the playoffs, but we don't have a regular season team to get us to the playoffs right now. At least that's from what we've seen this year. Once again, so many circumstances that went along with that. I'll just say it outright: excuses. We had plenty of excuses this year. Another thing of the positive thing about the Lambert signing is that it won't ruffle too many feathers from the players and whatnot. So they should probably still be feeling pretty good. Everything's going to seem like it pretty much was, with the exception of Trotz not being there. And like I said, I wasn't impressed with Barry Trotz as a bench coach. I was impressed with Lane Lambert as a bench coach from the little dose that we got. I like Lane. He's got a good personality. He's a good looking dude. He's a sharp dressed man, that's for sure. And I'm pretty happy with this, and I got a feeling that most Islander fans are pretty happy with this signing. Or, well, I guess it will be a signing because you're going to get a little more cash, aren't you, Lane? Lucky you, as the head coach. So congratulations going out to Lane. It's going to be awesome to have him behind the bench, and I'm so glad there's no retread. Let's talk a little bit about Matt Barzal at the World Championships. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to see Kiefer play any of his games yet, but Kiefer's putting up points. He's scoring, and he's getting some assists. So it's got to be a good thing there. I am going to pick up on some of Kiefer's game for sure, because I'm just as interested in Kiefer as I am in Matt as well. From what I've seen from Matt Barzal in the World Hockey Championship so far, after 2 games of play, is he hasn't put up a lot of points. He's only got 1 assist, but is that he's shooting more, but yet he's still passing too much, if that makes any sense. So, like he had 5 shots in today's game, and unfortunately, his shots though were uh, the kind of shots that a lot of Islanders take right at the breadbasket, right at the crest, you know. So, he's got to start picking the corners a little better than that, than just chucking it into the middle of the net. Like he looks great out there. He's playing with Kent Johnson and Drake Batherson. Batherson looks a little bit rusty because he only came back for about the last 10 games of the regular season. He was injured for quite a while there. I have Batherson on one of my fantasy teams, so I've followed him fairly good. So Batherson looks a little rusty, but Johnson and Barzell together look fantastic. Like they look like they're playing Harlem Globetrotter hockey out there between the two of them when they're passing the puck and possessing the puck. And usually when the Barzell line's out there, it usually is in the opposition's end. If anything, I'm noticing Matt extend his shifts way too long, more so than most of the other Canadian guys. But there's other Canadian guys just as guilty of it. You know, they're at the World Championships. They don't really care. They, you know, like it's not like extending your shifts on the if you were on the Islanders and then you'd pay the price for doing that. So yeah, they're just having some fun over there right now. Canada's 3-0. The States are looking pretty good right now. I didn't see how they did in their today's game. I may actually go watch that game. So I know the game's already over, but I'd like to see how Kiefer's doing as well. So Matt's looking good. Still not clicking. I think I thought he looked better in the first game. And the second one, this is the one where the jet lag would really kick in, is more so in the second game than the first game. So this would be a tough one for Matt with the jet lag, but overall he looks great over at the World Hockey Championships. And like I said, Kiefer sounds like he's doing really good too. And I'm trying to keep an eye on these rookies for possible draft. Like it's amazing to see like a Slovakia going to have probably 2 guys in the top 10. Maybe one of them will slip. You never know, to 13 or whatever. So anyway, I'm keeping an eye out for guys like that with the World Hockey Championships, just to keep on top of things. So big day for the New York Islanders today. Hired Lane Lambert as our new head coach. I'm happy about it. I hope you're happy about it. I can't think of a better guy than Lane for the job. So pretty excited about that. I thought there was 3 things that I wanted to talk about today, but I guess the World Hockey Championship and Barzell and Lane hiring is probably it for the day. So like I said, I hope you guys are all excited about it. I'm pretty excited about it, and shouldn't cause too much chaos in the locker room. Everybody should pretty happy. We're pretty much returning with status quo, hopefully only with a new look. So congratulations, Lane. So anyway, everybody else out there, you guys and girls, take care and peace out.